Well, we've just got to the hotel in Bath. This is our room, number 5. It's a very old stone building with all old features. Big skirting boards, big fireplace. Got a 4-poster bed in this one. And nice windows everywhere. And this window looks right out over the cathedral. It looks further away than it is. The camera's not as good. You just basically walk around the side of the building, go down that road there, and just turn left at the top, and then you walk along that road and you're in town. That's the main centre of town right there. So it's only about a 15 minute walk. We've just had a lovely Itsu noodle bowl with bento beans and noodles. Oh, it's lovely. Everything's environmentally friendly and nutritious. No fat. It's really good. Tasty as well. Why go to McDonald's when you can get fast food that is nutritious? Anyway, now I've got to brave the weather outside. It's a bit rainy, so Andrea bought an umbrella. Oh dear. Hey, look at this. I don't know if you've seen one before, but there's a bamboo bike, and this is serious. It's a shop that sells nothing but bamboo made things, and it really is a full-blown bike. Knowing how strong bamboo is and a bit flexible, it might actually work. Can you imagine getting a bit of flex out of it, like you've got suspension, but everything else is just like modern, you know, proper normal bike bits. I'd like to have a ride on that. Not far from the Royal Crescent is this other one that not many people know so much, called the Circus, and it's the same thing, but it goes around in a complete circle. The whole thing is a big circle, so if you looked at it from above, you'd literally see a circle with gaps just for these main thoroughfares. The whole thing is just one big Georgian circle. There it is. It's called the Circus. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. Nicolas Cage apparently owned one of these 15 years ago when he was over here for a while. Here we are at the Crescent. The rain has finally cleared, and the sun has come out as we've got to the top of the hill. So much original stuff here. You can just imagine what it would be like when the carriages would bring all the fairly wealthy people back after they've been out to the theatre for the night, or the brothel. Quite an impressive structure when you actually get up to it, because even though it doesn't look very big from here, they've got basements, and then they've got about 3 stories on top of the basement, and then the end of the building is not just like you would imagine the end of a house. It's actually quite big, like 3 or 4 houses wide at the end as well. So quite a beefy structure. This is one of the reasons I like coming to Bath, because you walk around and then all of a sudden you'll see some old Victorian railing, and then this old like gateway that's still there. And this bit would have been where the carriages used to come through to get up and down these tracks, but they haven't taken away the old original sandstone bases and these original bits of either Georgian or Victorian redone afterwards, sort of bits of ironwork. You find that all over. This is one of the busy little shopping streets. Everything's made out of that same sandstone. It's the same sandstone geologically as the stuff you find in that Stamford up the road from you. It's the same seam of rock. But I just wanted to show you, and you probably know this already, but these windows were never glass. They were always built to look like windows, but they were always filled in, because when the developers were building in the Georgian times, You used to get charged quite a lot to have glass in them. They used to call it the window tax. So they blocked them all up. And you get loads of old stuff that nobody seems to even take any notice of anymore. There's this old doorway, look. It's just literally like the ones out of Scrooge. And they've obviously been superseded by another doorway somewhere, but they're just left alone, you know. Nobody modernises them, they're just left to do their own thing. And so you find real little old nuggets of history. And this fence is probably 200 odd years old. And you still got like old theatres and things, like this is an old Theatre Royal. But they haven't modernised it, you know. It's still got that old box office look. And then you get this Pulteney Bridge. Pulteney. And that's the bit that goes over the water. And the shops along those in there as well, they're all lived in and houses and things. And then the great big weir, it's really flying fast, and it goes off down there, joins up with the canal, the Avon Bristol Canal. But yeah, there's another semicircular load of buildings here. They're everywhere actually, there's quite a few of them. And then the main centre of town, and you get this great big hotel here where our B&B is, over this bridge down that road, and it's just over there. You can just, I think that's it there, right in the middle of the screen now where my finger is roughly. I think that's it. Second floor up is our bedroom window. Walked over the bridge, where I was just a minute ago down there, and I've just come to the bridge that I was pointing out, Pulteney Bridge. And as you can see, I'm walking on the cafe here, but you can see through this window, right through to the window, the other window, to where I was stood just then, looking back this way. And this is literally built on the bridge. All of this is actually on top of the bridge. Clever, isn't it? Must be quite a strong bridge, of course. Well, it's a quite cute little street with the views across to the weir down below. Hydrangea, hyacinths, ivy, box hedge, bulbs. Get to know quite a few plants now. Box hedge. Oh, a cyclamen. But I do like this. I'd love to have a bike shop along here. Jay's Bike Shops, Scully's Cycles, Pulteney Bridge. There's also some wonky little steps. Right, we'll just go down these wonky steps underneath the bridge. There's all sorts of little old, novel, little quaint things to find. And then you come out at the back of the bridge now, where we was looking from over there originally, back this way, and then we walked around the front of it, and now I've just come back down right next to it now. Yeah, quite. I've never seen it flowing that fast, I don't think. Normally you can, because under there's like 3 or 4 steps coming at it like semicircular, and you can see them running down all 4 layers. Here, because it's so much water, it literally just go down that first step, and then it's just a torrent of bubbly, frothy water. But I do like Pulteney Bridge, I like that. Right, we're just coming back to the B&B. It's only a 5 or 6 minute walk, And we're in this building here. That's our window there. And it looks back over to the city. Here we are. It's called number 17 because it's number 17. There's a car. Got this lovely greenhousey looking thing. Sun's just going down over there to the west. Trying to zoom in, but it won't allow me. Oh, that's the main front door. It's a big old. Everything's so big. You'd think people in the olden days were ginormous people, but it's today people are big, and yet we've got small things. That lovely old ornate door knocker there. Right, we're just going to go out for a little meal, but the bedroom looks quite cute at night, and it's got this quite good view from the window because all the city's that side. And this next door hotel has got an outdoor seating area with canopies over it and lights and stuff. Mind you, it says it's 4 degrees at the moment, so I don't think it'll be very pleasant sitting down there at the moment. Anyway, we're going to go back into the centre of town now. Right, we just walked into town and we're back to the weir, which hasn't slowed down. But at night time, at least the bridge is all lit up, which is nice. You can see it sort of more clearly now. Lots of people about still. It's not one of these little places that shuts up shop at about 5 o'clock. There's restaurants in every little nook and cranny all over there, down by the river's edge, and houseboats that have got restaurants built into them and all sorts. They've just eaten in Bill's. I had a nice burger and Andrew had a chicken burger, and it was really nice. Ooh, we're just walking around after we've had the meal. There's a spire of some church and the moon out, Brighton. Yeah, there's this little shopping area that's now opened up in the evening for the restaurants and whatnot. It's all quite nice the way it's done, all different levels and stuff, and you can just walk around it at night and then find the restaurant you want to and go in there. There's loads of people about because it's one of them places like a bit touristy, so it doesn't go dead at night, it stays open. The shops shut, like the shoe shops, but the restaurants all stay open till probably about 11, so you can walk around knowing that there's going to be lots of people around. You come back out onto the street. But you're inside this big old building that's been renovated in the rear. Look at this, bit of a boutique-y men's shop here. Men of a certain type by the looks of it. Look at this shirt here. Different. And now we've got a whole shop dedicated to red hats by the looks of it. How do people stay open? Now we've come to the Cathedral Square, which just looks like the stump but without that massive spire. But again, lots of Georgian buildings. This is called the Pump Room. And inside is a restaurant, but there is a fountain, there's a pump that brings up the hot springs from underground, that Bath was formed around. The Roman baths are just up here. Inside this building here and down into the Roman levels is the actual bath that is built by Romans thousands of years ago around the actual spring that comes up out of the ground. And apparently it's the only hot spring in the whole of Britain is here in Bath under that building now. But you can go down there and you can see the Roman stuff that was there originally 2,000 years ago, and then they built all this Georgian stuff on top of it now, and they filled the water, filtered the water from the Roman area into this building now, and you can actually taste it. It's not very nice to taste, but apparently it's got something that's like 48 different minerals in it, so it's good for you in some ways. Yeah, so there's the Roman bath. There's a picture of it. When you go, we're up here at this level at the moment next to the cathedral, but if you come down them stairs you come into this actual 2,000-year-old part where the baths originally well up, and that's where they built their baths. All the little restaurants and boutique bars, they all look so nice at night, plus they're really old buildings too with lots of old features. All sorts of things. Look at this for example though. Right? Now to rent that, and that's why we have to live in Plymouth. What else is there? Yeah. To buy? Yep, you've got to be a millionaire to live around here. The Georgians were fairly good builders. They knew how to build proportions just right. I mean, look, when you walk up to an entrance like this for a house, big, thick set iron railings, great big wide doorways, big entrance lights above there. That's a typical sign of the Georgians. They used to put great big arches over the tops of things. Lovely lights and lampshades and things like that. Big bay windows, chunky. You know you've come somewhere important when you see an entrance like that. Right, day two. Just got up. It's a bit brighter. You can see the closeness to the where we were walking around last night. Now it's only just there. Literally takes 10 minutes to walk from the guest house round there, and luckily you got all fields at the end of the garden, so it's even greener. There's a little tree here all in blossom, so we're going to go out to Bradford upon Avon today. Out onward and upward. Right, we've just got to Bradford on Avon, just down the road from Bath. We've parked up, and there's different moorings and things for the Avon and Canal, I think they call it. So we're down at the wharf, and we can walk all the way along the canal through into town. Right, 5-minute walk from the car, you get to the wharf. That's what it would have looked like back then, I suppose. Now, it's full of your favourite things. Locks. Put your back out. Little garden cafe. Quite oldie worldy. I think we should come back when it's nicer weather. Bring the bikes. because you can cycle from Bath along the towpath. Now, just walking off the canal path, which is just there, you duck in just down there and it takes you into town, which is Bradford on Avon over there. But on the outskirts here, you've got this medieval barn built in 1300s, and it's still got the original roof and everything. It's massive. It's built for a farm. Oldie worldy, great big doors. They've renovated it and preserved it now, and they've got this little collection of old buildings where there's antiques for sale and things like that, and the play park for the Bradford on Avon people, and then the Bradford on Avon housing up the top there, and then over there, over the river, the other side of the Avon, there's the town itself. Right, after that Barnes, what we just had a look at, we were going to go into town up there, but look at the river. We've had so much rain around here. Everywhere's, all the paths and everything are flooded. There's the canal up on that level, and this is the river on this level, but it's really wide and flowing so fast you can hardly see that medieval bridge anymore. Just was talking from over there, but we've just walked down here and down to this bit of path right next to the river, and look, it's literally at the same level as the path now. It's as high as the path, so you have to walk around the path. And underneath, look, we can't go the way we wanted to go because it's underwater, the path's gone. So now we're going to have to, unless we can go up here. Now we're just walking from up there where the car is to the actual town, Bradford on Avon, away from the canal, but the river still runs through the actual town. But like Bath, everything's really old stone and old windows and Victorian and Edwardian and Georgian. Made a lovely stone. Right, now at river level, the town all around us, the river's going right up the banks, the trees are covered. It's nearly overflowing into the road here. And you've got some nice housing going right up to the hill, right to the top. Different layers of housing, all different ages. And we've got a Saxon church here, one of the most complete Saxon churches, I think. Yeah. Now we're inside the Saxon church. Quite old. Nicely restored. Looks very simple compared to our medieval churches, like the Stump or whatever. Nicely done. Tiny little door here, look. I can't even get through it without turning sideways. Ooh. Nice little gate. That's the church that's the medieval church. This one's the Saxon one, much smaller, less elaborate, very plain, as you imagined, a bit more simplistic. Nice though. Got this nice little street here, all original, like butchers and stuff like that. At the moment, this is still a butcher's, in like a Tudor place, a mock Tudor. But then you get these really old medieval doorways that are leaning all over the place. Look, fruit and veg. Actual fruit and veg store like we used to have. Look at these old roads. It's really nice. The streets are so narrow, but every building nearly is old. And yet, look at this little weird little nook here, look. It's like going back in time. Obviously on a steep hill, so you've got all these steps and things to compensate. Old flagstones and things. Old doorways bricked up. Cars are still coming up here. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be a delivery person around here. Just come to this like new estate. It's done in the old stone, so it actually blends in quite well. The main river runs along here, and that went up to a medieval bridge that was overflowing over that end, and then it goes this way as well. But all these houses have been built around little channels and things, and little canals. And but imagine living there. The noise of this at night when there's nobody else about and it's quiet at this time of year with all this rain. God. It's right dead in the middle of town. The river runs right through the centre. You've got old places, but look at this old tea room. Tiny little door. I wouldn't even get on. Dad, you might be alright getting in it, but we wouldn't be alright. Now we've just come about 10 miles from Bradford upon Avon, near Bath, to Frome. Frome. And we've just come to the top of this hill. There's all these little shops and little alleyways. And it resembles a little bit the hill at the top of Lincoln. Very steep little street, very wibbly wobbly, the shops up and down it, all mostly old. Quite quirky. Little narrow house on the corner here. It's only about 7 foot wide, 8 foot wide, something like that. Now we're walking down Cheap Street. I wonder how cheap it is. But again, there's all these old features everywhere. I've never seen such a concentration of old shops and street layouts. Look at this. Like a rill that runs through this street. All the way down it. From obviously up some hill. Probably used to be a street of some a stream down here, but they've made it into this. How many people will fall down that? But everywhere you look, it's just these little shops, and it's a bit like York, the shambles in York, where everywhere you look there's a little nook and a cranny and a little backyard with a little alleyway that runs to it and little steps going to nowhere and all that kind of stuff. It's just, everywhere's done really well.